alert for the potential for severe storms. Right now, we are just looking at maybe a little bit of some sprinkles back over in Phelps and Dent County. Nothing crazy this afternoon. Storms moving in, though, this evening and parts of the overnight hours tonight with a level 2 slight risk for severe storms. I'd say hail will be probably our biggest threat within these storms, maybe up to golf ball size. Some damaging wind gusts and some pockets of heavy rain possible. Storms fire off this afternoon, beginning over in Oklahoma and then working their way on in, I'd say after sunset, and continuing into the early overnight hours tonight. We'll watch some of these that could be severe, with a few scattered showers hanging around still Wednesday morning, with more storms Wednesday evening and a first alert to more storms tomorrow evening that could be severe. Temperatures right now, though, warm. We're in the mid to upper 70s. We'll continue to warm up today, back into the low to mid 80s this afternoon, well above average. Partly sunny today with a few peaks of sunshine. Highs should be, I'd say, around 82 to about 85 degrees, maybe in some spots. We'll talk more about the storm timing hour by hour and a look at your next first alert weather day tomorrow coming up soon. Mid 80s this afternoon. This is 4 o'clock, and heading into the evening hours by around 9 p.m. We'll see temperatures still in the mid 70s, rain chances rolling in, and overnight lows will actually stay pretty warm in the mid 60s for many tomorrow morning. Now, timing out the rain and storms for you. This afternoon, maybe a few isolated showers possible, but most will stay dry until the sun sets. And we'll look at this wave of storms developing back over in Oklahoma and Kansas that begins to work its way on in. It could bring us some large hail, I'd say kind of the main threat within this, and some really gusty winds we'll be watching out for. There's a very low but not zero tornado risk with this as well. And then quickly working its way into maybe some of our easternmost counties here in Missouri, northwestern Arkansas. Closer to midnight tonight, these could still pack a punch, but the further east they go, likely the weaker they will be getting. And then tomorrow morning, we'll wake up to a few scattered showers, rumble of thunder too, not severe. And then in the afternoon, some scattered rain, maybe a few thunderstorms as well. And then we'll watch another wave of storms moving on in Wednesday evening. Similar to the one this evening, we'll see wind and hail, those primary threats. Isolated tornado. This begins, though, maybe a little earlier, around 6, 7 o'clock, continuing to work its way into some of our eastern counties around 10 p.m. Wednesday evening, and then continuing to just bring us a few scattered showers by Thursday early morning. And we dry on out Thursday afternoon with maybe even a little bit of sunshine. Today's severe risk is a level 2 slight risk for severe storms highlighted in yellow, mostly north of I-44, west of Highway 65. It is greater level 3 enhanced risk back over in Oklahoma. I think they could have some pretty nasty storms this afternoon, so we'll have to watch those as they develop and see how far east, I should say, they continue to hold that strength. Then by tomorrow, very similar severe threat, level 2 slight risk highlighted here in yellow, north of I-44, west of 65. Weakening as they track off to the east, wind, hail, primary threats, and then the potential for an isolated tornado. I think we're talking about hail, though, maybe up to about golf ball size possible within a few of these thunderstorms. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts looking to be possible as well. And then we'll continue to dry out, like I mentioned, Thursday afternoon before another wave of storms on Friday into Saturday. This one with a cold front that will push in some cooler air just in time for the weekend, dropping back below average. So Thursday afternoon, quiet. I think we have some peaks of sunshine. Friday morning, we wake up pretty quiet and dry. Maybe a few scattered showers, isolated thunderstorm Friday afternoon. But Friday's severe threat, I think, really going up in the late evening and into the overnight hours. I think we'll hold on to that severe threat a little bit longer. And into Saturday morning, we'll wake up to a few scattered showers, rumble of thunder, but we are dry Saturday afternoon. Now, Friday's severe threat a little bit greater. Medium risk right here clips our northwesternmost counties. That typically translates to a level 3 enhanced risk for severe storms. That yellow, much of the area picking up on average maybe around 1 inch to 2 inches of rain. Some locally higher totals, though, maybe even greater than 2.5 inches in some spots, mostly west of 65 and north of I-44. And the chance for severe storms this evening and parts of the overnight hours tonight. So be sure to download the KY3 weather app. Another first alert to storms Wednesday evening, and a few very isolated, just light showers back over in Marys and Phelps County. Most stay dry through much of the day today with first alert weather day for storms late this evening and early overnight tonight, and another first alert to storms tomorrow evening as well. Quarter to golf ball size hail, your main threat, some damaging wind gusts, and there's a very low tornado threat we'll be watching out for. Storms develop into the late afternoon and evening back over in Kansas and Oklahoma, working their way on in as the sun goes down, and we'll continue to see storms overnight into early tomorrow morning. Not severe waking up tomorrow morning though. Storms tomorrow evening could also be severe. Temperatures right now warming up nicely. We're in the mid to upper 70s, even some low 80s already. 81 in Camdenton, 80 in Warsaw, 78 in Lamar right now, and 78 in Harrison. Today we'll climb into the mid 80s for many this afternoon. Partly sunny skies throughout the day. 70s into the evening and early overnight hours, and highs today by around 4 o'clock. Most around, we'll say 83 to about 85 degrees. Maybe a few spots a little bit warmer, and we'll continue to track that storm chance into the evening hours. I'll time it out hour by hour and talk a little bit more about those threats coming up soon. For storms late this evening and parts of the overnight hours tonight. Until then, most are dry. We have some cloud cover here and there, but a few peaks of sunshine and maybe a few very light showers clipping some of our northeasternmost counties. Moving through quickly though. Just about everyone stays dry through much of the afternoon, and temperatures warming up. We'll be in the mid 80s by around 4 o'clock today, well above average. And then this evening, mid 70s around 9 p.m. with rain chances going up, and we'll see overnight lows staying on the warmer side in the mid 60s tomorrow morning as well. Now, today, like I mentioned, a lot of dry time, maybe still a few very isolated showers, rumble of thunder or two into the late afternoon. Storm chances, though, increase after dark. This is 8 o'clock. A wave of storms that develops back over in Oklahoma, Kansas, works its way on in, mostly to areas north of I-44, west of 65 around 8 o'clock, and then continues to work its way off to the east by around midnight, situated kind of along and maybe south of I-44. Some of these still could pack a punch with a severe threat, but that threat will be going down the further east this system goes. And then by around 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, not severe, but a few scattered showers, rumble of thunder. And then throughout the day, maybe some on and off shower chances, but certainly not a washout of an afternoon. I think we do have some brief dry time before our next wave of storms moves on in Wednesday evening. Some of these could also be severe. Another first alert weather day for your Wednesday, and then continuing to watch this storm system continue into the overnight hours. This is 10 p.m. here, the leading edge south of I-44, and we'll see some rain hanging around Thursday morning before clearing on out Thursday afternoon with a few more peaks of sunshine for the later half of Thursday. So today's severe risk, level 2 slight risk for areas north of I-44, west of 65. You see this level 3 enhanced risk. The severe threat is going to be greater back over in Kansas and Oklahoma. I think they could see some nasty storms today, and we'll watch those try and work their way on in here to at least some of our westernmost counties. Now tomorrow, severe threat looks very similar for us here in the Ozarks. Level 2 slight risk north of I-44, west of 65. Level 1 marginal risk here back in south central Missouri and parts of northwestern Arkansas. Your severe threats, I'd say hail's going to be your primary threat that we look for today. We'll likely see minimum quarter to potentially up to golf ball size hail within severe storms this afternoon. Wind gusts maybe around 60 miles an hour, and there is a very low, just not zero, tornado risk. Like I mentioned though, hail is going to be the primary threat today. Some wind and hail tomorrow too. Temperatures slightly cooler tomorrow in the 70s compared to today. That's still above average, and we'll be in the 80s Thursday and Friday before a cold front works its way on in Saturday and cools us off and brings another chance for severe storms Friday. So Thursday afternoon looking dry, Friday morning looking dry as well. Maybe a few showers Friday afternoon. Storm chances, though, that could be severe going up late Friday evening and overnight again. I think this extends into much of the overnight hours, and by Saturday morning, some rain to start the day off, but we're dry in the afternoon. And Friday's severe threat's going to be a little bit higher for some of our northwestern counties. This medium risk clips Nevada over towards Osceola, and that typically translates to a level 3 enhanced risk for severe storms, and then a low risk level 2 slight risk highlight highlighted there you see in yellow. So we'll watch that and could potentially add Friday in as another first alert weather day. Just want to make sure confidence gets a little bit higher in that before we issue that first alert. But regardless, some storm chances Friday overnight. We had a swath of storms develop back over in Kansas, producing severe weather, and the severe storm reports in the last 24 hours, where we are looking at maybe around 6 tornadoes back over in Kansas, and then some hail reports, some very large hail back over in Kansas as well, and then some wind and hail reports coming in here back south of Kansas City, north of us here in the Ozarks yesterday evening as well. So we'll continue to look at damage there being assessed today, and I'll have more on that actually coming up on the news at 4. But a wider look at what's happening right now. Some severe storms back over in Ohio. I want to show you this area of low pressure back over towards the Four Corners region, bringing them a little bit of snow today back over in Colorado, and then tracking some rain over in parts of Texas and into Oklahoma. We'll watch this area closely this afternoon. This is where storms will begin to develop and then start to work their way on into us here in the Ozarks and could be severe this evening. Level 3 enhanced risk for severe storms into Oklahoma, Kansas today, from Iowa all the way through Michigan as well into the afternoon and evening hours. Level 2 slight risk here in the Ozarks, and tomorrow's severe threat looking very similar. Level 2 slight risk though covers this large portion from Texas all the way up into southern Wisconsin and then back over into Ohio as well. Winds very breezy today across the region, gusts coming in 36 miles an hour here in Springfield right now, and we'll continue to see some breezy winds throughout the evening. Warm day today in the 80s for much of the region, but cooler air off to our north, and we'll see a cool down heading into the weekend that we'll talk more about coming up. Set up for a severe threat today. We have a dry line back off to our west over in Kansas and Oklahoma. Storms firing off along that dry line into the afternoon and then working their way on into us here in the Ozarks this evening out ahead of that line. Now this is 10 p.m. Strong to severe storms possible. By tomorrow morning, we'll just look at some scattered rain to wake up and then could continue into parts of the afternoon. Now the stalled out front to our north, we'll begin to see some storms develop along that again with another wave heading into Wednesday late evening and overnight. Some of these could also be on the strong to severe side. Wind and hail the primary threats, with just some rain waking up Thursday morning before we dry out Thursday afternoon. Level 2 slight risk for severe storms Tuesday and into Wednesday, mostly north of I-44 and west of 65. We will need to watch Friday though, the potential for some severe storms once again, mostly north of I-44 west of 65. That could produce some large hail, damaging winds, maybe even a tornado risk as well. Now rain wise, good news here. We are looking at, I'd say on average, about 1 inch to 2 inches across much of the area through the week ahead. Some locally higher totals though will be possible. I'd say kind of here in southwestern Missouri, northwestern Arkansas, and maybe this in some of our northwesternmost counties, and potentially maybe closer to around 1/2 inch to 1 inch of rain here in far south central Missouri and north central Arkansas. Mid-80s this afternoon for highs. Some dry time this afternoon before storm chances go up into the late evening and overnight hours. Be sure to download the KY3 weather app for the latest forecast updates, any watches, warnings that are issued for your location. You'll be the first to know. Another first alert weather day for your Wednesday. Storms arriving once again in the evening that could be severe. And then on Friday, we'll watch some more storms that could also pack a punch with the severe threat. Cooler heading into the weekend. No storms, but we are tracking storms off to our west. Just a few showers right now over in Kansas and some storms back in far southern Oklahoma that are already packing a punch. Wave of storms moves on into the late evening and overnight hours tonight. We have a level 2 slight risk for severe storms covering areas mostly north of I-44 and west of Highway 65. With all severe threats looking possible, I'd say large hail will be kind of our primary threat, some damaging wind gusts, and there is the potential for an isolated tornado as well heading into the evening and overnight hours tonight. Storms firing off along a dry line off to our west. They work their way on in after sunset. This is 10 p.m. potentially in some of our westernmost counties, and then continuing overnight, weakening though I'd say after about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning now, and then maybe a few showers early tomorrow morning, not severe. More storms tomorrow evening. Temperatures right now in the upper 70s to mid 80s across the area. We'll continue to stay very warm into the evening, back in the mid 70s at 9 o'clock. And we'll see a warm night tonight with clouds hanging around. Storm chances still, and we'll be in the mid 60s tomorrow morning, with temperatures tomorrow afternoon a little bit cooler than today. We'll be in the mid 70s, still above average for this time of year, and tracking our next wave of storms tomorrow evening. That'll time out for you coming up soon. Warm. It's kind of muggy outside. We'll see temperatures in the mid 70s by around 9 o'clock, and overnight tonight, lows staying very warm in the mid 60s, waking up with temperatures tomorrow afternoon back in the mid 70s. Tomorrow's also going to be another first alert weather day for more storms again in the evening. Let's jump into the storm timing. This is a look here at 8 o'clock. We'll be tracking the storms back over in Kansas and Oklahoma. The ones in Kansas this evening could clip some of our northwesternmost counties, some areas north of I-44. All severe threats looking possible, and we'll continue to be watching a few more rolling in from Oklahoma, heading maybe closer to midnight tonight. These could still pack a punch with a severe risk, and then I think coverage will be a little bit greater than what this model here shows, especially into tomorrow morning for some rain and some thunderstorms. We'll wake up to some scattered rain. I'd say it's mostly going to be kind of along and south of I-44 in the morning, and then in the afternoon, a few scattered showers and thunderstorms will also be possible. It's starting to redevelop them closer to 6 p.m., mostly south of the interstate. But then we'll be tracking another wave of storms develop. Similar story back over Kansas and Oklahoma. Works its way on in and could bring us a severe risk as we track these storms moving in after dark. They will begin to weaken, maybe closer to midnight again tomorrow night. This is here 10 p.m. lining up along and south of I-44, and we'll see drier weather for the most part during the day on Thursday. I think we could still see a few more showers linger into Thursday morning. Now, today's severe risk is a level 2, slight risk for severe storms here, mostly along I-44 and to the north and west of 65. Level 3, enhanced risk back over in Kansas and Oklahoma. Like I mentioned, all severe threats. And tomorrow's severe outlook looks similar to today. We'll expand it a little bit more, that level 2 slight risk here into parts of southern Missouri, but all severe threats looking possible again. I'd say large hail will be kind of the primary threat that we see within these storms. Quarter to golf ball size hail, maybe isolated higher, and we'll continue isolated larger, I should say. And we'll continue to watch the potential for an isolated tornado. Now, temperature-wise, the next couple of days will be in the 70s to 80s through about Friday. Thursday afternoons looking drier, and then by Friday we'll see some storm chances going up in the evening and overnight. These could also become severe, and cooler air moves on in for the day Saturday. So Futurecast shows drier weather Thursday afternoon and evening. We'll have some peaks of sunshine, and then we start Friday off dry as well. A few more scattered showers, a few thunderstorms possible Friday afternoon. Storms developing off to our west, working their way on in after sunset, and they could potentially be severe, with all severe threats looking possible again for your Friday. And then continuing Saturday morning to see a few showers. They clear on out though in the afternoon, and we will be drier for the later half of Saturday and a lot cooler. Friday's severe risk is going to be this level, what is typically level 3 enhanced risk, clipping some of our northwesternmost counties. This far out, it's either called a low or medium risk. Low risk is typically a level 2 slight risk for severe storms. So we'll have to watch for the trends closely. For storms on Friday, it could potentially become another first alert. Storms developed just off to our northwest, mostly south of Kansas City, and severe storms brought wind, hail, and even several tornadoes. Number of reports right here is 86 total, 8 of those being now tornadoes back over in Kansas. Dry, tracking a little bit of rain off to our north, some showers back over in northeast Oklahoma, some storms in southern Oklahoma today, and we'll watch storms over the next couple of hours trying to strengthen and grow in coverage. Late evening and overnight tonight, first alert weather day, level 2 slight risk for severe storms. Damaging wind, large hail, and an isolated tornado will be possible. Storms firing off this evening along a dry line and will continue to work their way on in after dark. Some of these could be severe, continuing to move through the area tomorrow morning, waking up to some scattered showers, not severe, but then more storms redevelop again tomorrow evening. that could also be severe. Right now, temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s. We'll continue to look at temperatures staying pretty warm through the evening, in the low 70s still at 11 o'clock, 1 a.m. with lows tonight in the mid 60s, waking up tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon only in the mid 70s. That's still above average, but certainly cooler than today. And we'll talk about more storms Wednesday evening and another chance on Friday for severe storms. I'll have the timing for all the systems coming up soon.
All right, Danielle, Kansas City.
Hanging around the Ozarks, and rain with chances going up over the next couple of hours, and a chance for some of the storms this evening to be severe. Temperatures are still warm though over the next few hours while we enjoy some more dry time. And then still this evening by 9 o'clock, we'll be in the mid 70s with lows tonight in the mid 60s, waking up tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, we'll see temperatures back in the mid 60s for this time of year. And we're tracking storms this evening that could be severe, and another chance tomorrow. So first alert weather days tonight and tomorrow evening. This is a look here, 8 o'clock. We'll see maybe a few scattered showers and storms clipping some of our northwesternmost counties. Some of these could be severe, with all severe threats possible. And still maybe a few more by around midnight back here in southwestern Missouri, northwestern Arkansas, and then overnight into tomorrow morning. I think we'll see a little bit more rain than what this model here shows. It's not going to be a significant amount though for many. Some pockets of heavy rain though within some thunderstorms could lead to maybe some localized flooding. That will be a lower threat though. And then tomorrow afternoon, a few more scattered showers than what this model here shows too. However, into the evening hours, we'll see another wave of storms developing back off to our west. These also the potential for severe storms, and then by 10 o'clock lining up mostly along and south of I-44, and then we'll see a little bit of rain hanging around Thursday morning and then drier Thursday afternoon. We have a level 2 slight risk for severe storms north of I-44, kind of west of Highway 65 here. Level 3 enhanced risk over in Kansas and Oklahoma. And then tomorrow, severe threat looks very similar for us. Level 2 slight risk in yellow, expanded a little bit further to the south. Level 1 marginal risk there highlighted in green. Impacts, threats all the same. That is going to be damaging winds, maybe 60 miles an hour, and then quarter to golf ball size hail possible. And then there is the potential for maybe an isolated tornado as well this evening and into the early overnight hours tonight, and then again for your Wednesday evening and early overnight. Temperatures staying warm all the way through Friday in the 70s and 80s. We'll see another chance for some rain and storms Friday evening and overnight, some of which could be severe, and cooler air moving in with a cold front by Saturday, and will be dry Saturday afternoon. So let's time this next system out for you heading into the weekend. Thursday afternoon, I think we're dry across the area, maybe even a few peaks of sunshine. Friday morning, we start off dry as well. In the afternoon, a few scattered showers, and then by the evening and overnight hours, we'll be tracking some storms developing once again to our west, and then working their way on in after dark overnight into early Saturday morning. Severe risk here, and then we'll continue to watch them clear out quickly by Saturday afternoon. We have a medium threat issued for some of our northwesternmost cities for Friday. This typically translates to about a level 3 enhanced risk for severe storms, and then a low risk, typically level 2 threat covers much of the rest of the area, with all severe threats Friday also looking possible. We'll continue to watch the potential to add this as another first alert weather day. But for now, today, tomorrow, and then Thursday, we're actually dry in the afternoon, so it won't rain all day. Not too bad. Some dry time Friday before the rain, and then cooler this weekend with overnight lows in the upper 30s Sunday morning. A tornado is considered violent at what rating? EF2, EF3, EF4, or greater?
Let's go 4 or greater.
And you are correct.
All right. The danger of gambling addictions and the options out there if you need help. Next at 5. Several rounds of strong storms.
Yep, this evening, first alert weather day. Tomorrow evening, first alert for more storms. And then maybe another chance on Friday that could be maybe one of our best chances if things hold together. So be prepared this week by downloading the KY3 weather app before you head to bed tonight, with potential for some storms that could linger into the overnight hours. Certainly a great tool to have. You should have at least 2 ways to receive weather alerts before heading to bed. Tomorrow, nice in the early part of the day in the 70s temperature wise. Storms Friday overnight, cooler on Saturday.
All right. Keep in touch with us through the